Hey, welcome Firebird artists. This is Breshik here. I'm working from home to create this video, and I just wanted to go over how to create, just like the artist we looked at, Sun Tzu's painting. It was a Chinese brush stroke painting done in one color. His was done in black. It was really done in black ink. And he created the variety of his paint, the variety of the mountains and the depth of his field, just by working with his pigment, black ink, and different amounts of water to create the different intensities of the color. So we're going to try and work with one color. So we're going to work monochromatically. So you're going to choose one color. We're going to work with watercolors. So I'm going to show you how to create the one color and create different intensities with that one color by just using water. So we're not creating a value scale where you usually have white to create a tint and black to create your shade. So you go from tint to the pure hue to the shade by using black and white and a color. We're just going to use one color and water. I'm going to tilt my camera down so you can see my workspace, and we'll get started. So we're going to try and create a monochromatic piece. So this is monochromatic blue, obviously. Here is one done with black and green. So I think I'll try another color. Let's try, I'm going to go for purple. So get in your square. Everybody should have about 3 of these. You're going to first put your name on them and then your teacher's name. So let's do that on the back. I have a Sharpie. Actually, I'm going to use a pen. You guys could probably use a pencil. So you're going to put your name, your teacher's name, not my name, but your classroom teacher's name, and the table that you sit at. So if you're at the yellow table and your paintbrush is number 4, put yellow or Y4. And that way, once I take them off the drawing rack, I know exactly who to give them to. So turn it over, you'll be working on this flat sheet. So right now, my watercolors are all dry. And then when you get to yours, yours might be dry as well. So you should have a water container for water, one paintbrush, and a set of watercolors. I also have a napkin. Now the ones at school are brown, I think. No, they could be white. Yeah, they are white. So you're gonna get your brush wet. My watercolors are dry. So in order to get them so that you're picking up pigment and not just colored water, you're going to get some water on your color. So I'm putting water on my purple, and I'm massaging that water deep into the pigment. I'm not just letting the water sit on top, because then all you have is colored water. We want to make paint. So I'm massaging the liquid, the water, into the pigment to create paint. And you know you have it, you know you're getting there, when you actually feel a little thickness happening, because the paint is going to be thicker than just colored water. So I'm taking my time, I'm twirling my brush just so that I'm not getting it everywhere, to picking up all that paint. And I think I got it. So I've got a lot of purple on my paintbrush, and I like to go in a circular fashion. You can go any way you like. We're just going to get some deep pigment down. You're not painting anything. We're just going to fill in our paper with this color, and my color is purple. So I'm first laying down the intense hue, the darkest hue I'm hoping to create. I think I'll put some down here. Notice that I'm keeping my brush pretty well formed. I'm not giving it a bad hair day by pushing down too hard or smashing it into my paint or onto my paper. You're holding the brush kind of like a pencil. You can hold it close to the silver part, is called a ferrule, or you can hold it further away. I like to brace my hand on the table so that I have control. So I have now my darkest color down, my darkest pigment of purple. Now I'm going to clean my brush, so I'm going to remove a lot of that pigment, and I just have water on my brush. And now I'm going to pull the pigment from the dark areas into the whiter areas. And you'll notice that it's getting nice and light. So I'm creating a couple different intensities of the color. I'm going to pick up just a little bit, put it in that wet area. I'm doing, my brush stroke is really light. It's like it's dancing on top of the paper. So the goal here is to get a variety of the purple or whatever color you're choosing. Again, I'm just using water. I'm pulling the pigment that's already down on my paper, and I want to color the whole paper. Now, watercolorists don't use white. Notice that in our palette here, for the most part, we don't have white. In some of those bigger watercolor sets, you do, but watercolorists use the white of the paper as their white. So if they want an area white, they're either going to what's called mask it off, so they'll lay a clear fluid down so that when they paint over it, it won't get the color in that area. So as you can see, again, I was really carefully dancing my brush very gently over my paper. And you can see that I have some still very dark areas, some medium areas, and some very light areas, all by using just the pigment and water. So I would like you to create at least 2. You have 3 sheets, so ideally, eventually you're going to do 3. And you're going to first do one color, and then today we might only do one color. However, if you get done with one, you're going to put it on the drying rack, grab another sheet of paper, put your name, teacher's name, and where you sit on it, and then you can choose another color. Again, the trick is to massage the paint, the brush, into the paint. For example, I'm going to clear my brush. If I just got my green wet, I put water on my green, and now I'm going to paint. You can see that it's just really light. But if I massage that paint, that water into the paint, and again, you know when you're really making paint, when it feels a little thicker. So again, I don't have a depth grip on my brush. I'm going very gentle. I'm trying to get the water to seep down into that dry pigment to make it paint. And look at that. So again, we have to be patient to create that to create paint. Again, we're not working with just colored water. We are working with paint. So this is step 1 of creating our Zen-like, because remember, our artist Zen created a scene in which he wanted to go to, a place that he was happy at. And we're going to work with that after we get our background done. So enjoy creating at least your 3 pieces of monochromatic background.